And we're back with Beacon Pines. Let's try the sly path. Classic good cop, sly cop? What does that
They'd
mean?
run the classic good cop, sly cop interrogation. Luca and Rollo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task. With a few crisp snaps, she roused Mr. Tolliver. Mr. Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints. Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was gonna be easy. Mr. Tolliver wriggled a bit in his restraints. Beck quickly removed the ropes. Mr. Tolliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead. Beck twirled her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought. Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue. Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement. Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle. Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune. Beck blinked slowly in disappointment. She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper. Beck marked each scrap of paper and leaned back. Luca and Beck looked at Rollo with amazement.
So he is smart. Nude rug store.
He's a real Sherlock Holmes.
Great, we gotta go to Nun Creeds. Oh, hello. Is that his wife? Late to his own funeral. I wonder if people are gonna say that about me. I try to be on time, but sometimes I'm late. More than sometimes, ashamedly. I'm ashamed to admit.
Gus looked around nervously.
Okay, so she was marked as not being involved. So they don't know what's going on. That's good. That means that we have more allies on our side, essentially. Enemy of my enemy is my friend. Right. Oh my gosh.
Eris's cry hung in the air.
Tis true.
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice. Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth. Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside. Beck flung open the door and they all squeezed in.
Here we go.
Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad. The inside of the phone booth dropped loose from its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing. It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground. The air
3
was
paths.
stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
Little specific. Oh. Right. It was likely him, but evidently, based on the other paths, there are quite a few workers. Right. A series of tubes. Yeah, a lot of tropes are like that. A lot of sayings. Press 1.
Rollo's hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
Okay. Valentine House we go. Oh, someone's coming. Mr. Underground Secrets.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence. He gestured toward the strange tubes.
And then what happened? What happened to helping folks?
Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Okay, so he was more interested in the payout. Yeah. I mean, that's tough, you know? Like, you're given a decision where you could save the lives of people by putting your family in danger. It's like, that is a very difficult decision. Of course, you'd say, oh, choose your family every single time. But what if it was, you know, your whole town? What if it was your whole country? It's like that is a lot of moral weight hanging on your shoulders, and you got to respect someone for making a decision, regardless of what it is, when they have to do it in that situation. So yeah, props to Walt.
He shook his head wistfully.
Dang, he was right.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children.
What is he gonna do? I don't have any paths left. Or maybe
Luca
I could...
began to laugh.
Why are you guys telling him this?
The color drained from Nuncreed's face.
Maybe it'll help a little bit, I don't know.
Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic. A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
Okay, so it was her trying to destroy the source. Alright. Wait, which path was this? I already forgot. This was the... Oh, the mine. This was the mine. Beck likes the adventure.
Chapter 8.
Ooh, we're
Cold,
making
hard
progress!
truth.
Oh, man.
Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along. She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
Oh, no. Can we go this way? I want to go this way. Okay, we can uncover it. Find Mr. Nuncreed. Uncover the sign. What do y'all think about the barrels? Can't look at them. Basecamp Dimension. It'd be a fun story. Much funner than this one. It's so tragic.
As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square, they spotted Mr. Nuncreed inching cautiously toward a pit at its center. He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild. Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind. Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes. Rollo and Beck held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder. Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened. They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement. They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge.
I gotta
Amid a blur
choose.
of emotions
What do I
and
do?
memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions. The wind calmed, as if to give him the stage.
Well, first I'm gonna weep. That's the natural reaction.
And in the stillness, he began to weep. It was all just too much. Falling to his knees, Luca whimpered softly. The tears crystallized as they hit the snow. Gran stared at Luca for a moment with warm sympathy, remembering why this was all necessary. She stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr. Nuncreed. Ignoring his final plea, Gran flung the torch into the deep darkness. She smiled and exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation. The torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole, punctuated with a thunderous thud. Before Gran could finish, the ground shook her to silence. Gran only had time to spin around and run to Luca. Her attempt to shield him, an honorable but trifling act. Unflinching love, pitted against an unthinking horror. There was no contest. Her warm embrace froze in an instant. That is where they remain, fixed in place, forever. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers. The end.
So I have a question in my mind. Back at the library, we discovered the what is it called? The death certificate thing of his grandmother saying that she was survived by his mom. So we haven't discovered who she is really, right? I mean, did she manufacture that? Like, what happened? Is that some kind of... I don't know. I guess maybe we'll find out. Hopefully that question is answered.
That was dire. On the bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from. Now, we just need to find a way to deal with a mystic, unfathomable force of nature.
Well, we just have Hum left, right? That's the only thing we got. I hope I haven't missed any words, you know? Oh, that's a cool drawing. Her holding the torch above the pit. It's really cool.
And in the stillness, he began to hum. After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind, the only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay. That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother. Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud. Gran lowered the torch, listening closely. As recognition slowly set in, her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together. She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out. A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note. lifted his head in astonishment. The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother. Luca blinked through blurry, watery eyes, trying to see more clearly. He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees. Something about her was undeniably his mother, only smaller, older, changed.
What?
Luca sprinted
What in
as
the
fast
world?
as he could toward his mother.
It's some kind of time
They
thing.
held each other close, and the cold retreated from their bodies.
Oh man.
Eleanor looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness.
Oh, she aged.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow. For the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again. Luca gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow as if searching it for answers.
Okay. No, not always. Not always.
Chapter
We're gonna
9.
find a way. Okay. All right. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.